Module 2, Latex Basics. Here we're going to learn how to typeset our document in Latex. We like the basic commands for typesetting our document in Latex. Before you begin to typeset your document in Latex, ensure that you have MikTeX, a program that reads and runs Latex file, is installed in your computer. You will also need to install an editor. There are different editors that you can use. WinEDT is a good editor for LaTeX typesetting. This is WinEDT. This is WinEDT. On the desktop, it has some commands that you can easily use. In case you forget any command, you can always get them on this desktop. For example, let's open a blank document just to demonstrate. If you forget how to make a table, you can come to tabular, just type. It tells you, asks you how many rows and columns. You specify them, and then it creates a dummy table for you. So you just input the values or the text here, and then LaTeX will create a table for you. So if you forget how the command for creating table, you can always get them on this desktop. Likewise, if you forget the command, the LaTeX command for listing of your item, you want to itemize or enumerate or describe, you can always get them here. And then when you click enter, LaTeX gives you the command, gives you a dummy enumerate environment where you can type in your items. Similarly, you can equally, here on this desktop, you have all the mathematics symbols, the Greek symbols, other symbols, international symbol, functions, and so on and so forth. So any one of them you need, in case you forget, you can always type, you can always click on them, and then WinEdit will insert the command for you. For instance, if I want to type, say, the Greek letter alpha, I just click on alpha, the command comes out that I can use. That is one advantage of WinEDT. A LaTeX file with extension .tex contains the text of the document as well as the command that tells LaTeX how to typeset the text. So in order to create a LaTeX file, you open a blank document and save that blank page with the extension .tex, your file name, your chosen file name .tex. Or after typesetting your document, you must save your file with the extension .tex. So let's go to our LaTeX. Okay, let's go to our LaTeX file. Let's save this document. If I go to save this document, I click on save. Or I click on I open save here, or Control S. The usual way we save our document. You save. Now it brings you where to save, and you can type in a file name, say example. You don't need to add the .text because already WinEdit has here save as type. So save as type here says save as a text file. So if you click save, it will just add the .tex by itself without you necessarily adding the .tex. However, if you are using some of the other editor, you may need to type the .tex. Unit 1, document structure. Every LaTeX source file belongs to a class, depending on the type and general structure for the document. Here are some document classes that can be used with LaTeX. More classes are found in the course manual. We have the article class for typesetting articles, report class for typesetting reports, book class for typesetting a book, real books, letter for typesetting letters, and beamer for writing a presentation. There are optional commands added to the document class for specific output. For example, if you want an article to be 12 point size printed on A4, you could use the command. You put those options in square bracket and then the class in curly bracket. So we'll go to our document class. I have an example already written here to save time in this video, so I'll just go to the example straight away. We're supposed to be typing these things. So I uncomment this. So that's our document class. This is our document class. So you type document class, one word. Here, these are the options: 11 points, A4 paper, and the class is an article. So I include a comment here that says this is the document class. Okay, so we have our document class already written. You can add some other options depending on what kind of output you want. The next set of commands that is needed in a latex structure is called preambles. These are latex commands that come between document class and begin document. It is in the preamble you set all the styles, specify all styles, include packages, classify, set values for global parameters, define environments, and then set global page style. If you don't include a preamble in your document, then the default preamble for document class are used. If a package is needed for latex to run, it will automatically give warning for its installation. Okay, we'll go back to our example text file. Now, these are the preambles we have here. So we just uncomment some of them. This is a preamble. Here I have a use package. AMS maths is for AMS math symbol. We also have some other ones. So I'm going to uncomment all these preambles. Okay, so this is my preamble. Here, the packages I'm using here are already explained with a comment on the right. Okay, so you don't have to type all this all the time. The beautiful thing about latex is that you can copy the preambles of an existing document and use for your own document if you want the same output. You can always modify the preamble for the kind of output that you want. If you don't type any preamble, latex will by itself typeset your article based on its default preamble. After the preambles, your document is enclosed. The main text of your document is enclosed between two commands that identifies the beginning and the end of your document. These commands are begin document and end document. Note that latex will not typeset. Do not typeset text that are placed after end document command. So I go back to my example file. After the preamble, we must type begin document. So you type begin document. Okay, this is begin document, just type it. And at the end of the entire file, in this case, at this end here, I type end document. So in between begin document and end document, you type in your articles. At the end of the begin document, whatever is typed there, for instance, this statement here that I type at the end of the document will not be typeset. Okay, I'll go back to the beginning. We have a preamble, we have begin document, we have end document. So this is our article, just to demonstrate. Okay, so we have our article set. For a start, we can run the article now. We can run it at this stage to get an output, though a page is what we're going to get here is a single page article with the write-up. This is our article. Now, to run your latest file in using WinEdit, WinEdit has on on his desktop command to run your LaTeX file. You have here, these are the commands for running LaTeX file. Now, for basic LaTeX running, you use the L. If you want to convert your LaTeX file to PDF directly, you use the PDF LaTeX. Okay, so but for now, I'm going to use L. Okay, you click on L, or you use Control-Shift-L. Control-Shift-L is also for LaTeXing. Now, you may need to run your file 2 or 3 times for LaTeX to get all the commands correctly. So you run 2 or 3 times for LaTeX to get all the commands correctly. So you run again, and then you might run it 3 times to get all the commands that you have imputed. Now, to view your output, there are different viewers on this desktop. One of them is the DVI previewer, and then you have also the GS view, and then the PDF view. Depending on how you run your program, you can use any of the files. For instance, if I have used PDF LaTeX to run my program, to run my LaTeX file, then I will view the PDF output with this PDF command. And if I have used just LaTeX, I will use DVI to view the output. So I click on DVI. Okay, this is the output of our first LaTeX document. Unit 2, article structure. Here we're going to learn how to type an article. When using LaTeX to typeset an article for publication, use the following command: /title to include title, /author to include author information, /date to include date. Please note that many article publishers have their own predefined set of commands in a class file to typeset articles for their publication. In this case, you may need a set of different commands to typeset your article. Okay, so let's go back to our example file. In this example file, I already have here title, so I'll comment title. You're supposed to type /title and then the title of the file, /author, and then the author, you see /thanks for further information about the author or any kind of acknowledgement. This acknowledgement will appear at the footnote. Here I wrote corresponding author, that this author is the corresponding author in case there are more than one author, or I want to write something else there. The address of the author is also included under the author command. His email address is also included. Follow the syntax, the way the command is written: title in column bracket, author also in column bracket with all the other information about the author included in that same column bracket, with double slash to break the page, to break the line. Okay, and then finally date. You typeset date, put the date there. If you want the date to be today, you can type /today. Just like if you want today's date, you don't want December, you don't want the date there, you can type /today. So it puts the date. As you run the file, the current date in your computer will be inserted there. Okay, so with this, we are set to run our LaTeX file. Before we run our LaTeX file, then we haven't created a title the author, we also type now make title. Make title. Okay, so that make title commands Latex to now make title. So this is the command. You have typed the command for the title, the author. Now you type make title. Test Latex to make title. That means to create the title of your of your text, of your article. Okay, again we'll latex it. You can use Control Shift L to run, Control Shift L to run again, or you just type latex and then it will run. Then you come to DVL viewer, you view. So this is the title of our article. This is the title page, the title section of our article. This is the date, and now you see it automatically put here a star. If you come to the end of this document, it says it's a corresponding author. Suppose we have more than one author. Say you have this is an author. There are two ways of inserting more than one author. First, you can just type /end, and then you put the other author, J.D. Smith, for instance. Okay. And then for each author, you must put his details. So I'm going to copy the detail of the first author, just duplicate them for speed. So okay, so we have here the first author, then we have his information, the first author, his department, university, email address, and so on. Now the second author with the command /and. /and tells Latex that there are two authors. The first author with his information, the second author with his information. Department, same university or a different one, and email address. For instance. And so, okay, we can latex our file to see the output. Okay, we'll DVI it. Okay, so we'll get this. So the first author, this is the output. You get the first author together with information and the second author with his information. This is one way of typeset article with two authors. The other way is to instead of using the AND command, you could simply, for instance, since they are from the same department and university, instead of duplicating the names, you could simply just remove the AND command, okay, and remove the address of the first author if they have the same, since they have the same address. And then here in this tense, I include his email address. So I include the email address of the first author here, of course, which will appear at the end of the document. And here again, this is for the second author. I write /thanks, but here now I include his email address. Okay, so all things been set. So we'll run our file again. Control Shift L. Control Shift L. And then we view. Let's see the output we have. So we now have the first author, second author, For a nicer output, we could separate them with a space. So we just put here, use line for spaces. So you just put space there. Okay, I'll have that. So you have the first author, the second author, and then you have they have both the same address, but at the end, each of them have their email address here. So the first author is the corresponding author, this is email address. The second author just has an email address. So you could type some other information there for both authors. Latex has predefined command that tells it which part of an article is the abstract, if you have an abstract in your article. Now the default article name is abstract. You could change it to summary or whatever name you want. But to do that, you need to include the command, the new command, to change that name. Okay, let's go and demonstrate abstract. Again, I have typed an abstract here. So I just uncomment this. Uncomment my abstract. You're supposed to type that abstract manually. But to save time in this video, I have typeset all I want to demonstrate so as to save time in this video. Okay, so this is the abstract. Enclose between the commands begin abstract and end abstract. So you type begin abstract, and then you type your abstract, then you close the abstract by end abstract. That tells Latex that you have an abstract in your work, and it's going to bring it out as an abstract. So again, let's see the output. We'll latex it. We run the file, and then we'll view the output. So this is the output. That is the output of our latex file with abstract this time. Book structure. The book structure is divided into three major parts: front matter, main matter, book matter. Now I'll give an example of how to typeset a book shortly. The front matter chapters will not be numbered. The page numbers in the front matter chapters will be printed in Roman numerals. The main matter chapters will be numbered as usual. Page numbers will be printed in Arabic numerals. The back matter indicates the sections or chapter to be treated as back matter, which are usually not numbered. Okay, let's go to, we're going to retain this document for article as we demonstrate, but we're going to open another document for book. So in that case, I have this example here. We'll do the same thing we have done before. Document class is book. Now the document class has changed from article to book. So I have a book class, and then I've included some option. I want 12 points. I want a title page, A4. I want to tell Latex that it's a title page, A4 open any. Now for article command, you don't need title page. You don't need to tell Latex it's a title page. Just put in /title, and then it will create it for you. And then open any here tells Latex to either open the to create the next page in any available page. Okay, it makes chapters begin either only on the next available page, or if you use open right, it will begin on always on the right. So open any here says that Latex should begin new chapters in any available page. Okay, so that's the document class for book. Again, we're going to use the set of preambles we have used before. Okay, so I'm going to comment this set of preambles. Up to this point. Okay, so here, again, we'll have our set of preambles, the ones we had before. And then now, because we are typesetting a book, we still enclose our text in between begin document and end document. Okay, you type that. But then, because it's a book, we start, after begin document, we start with front matter / front matter. That tells LaTeX that everything here belongs to the front matter. And so the chapters are not numbered, and then the pages are numbered with Roman numeral. So this is, again, this is my title. This is the title. This is the author. The same thing we did before for creating a title, we're going to do there too. So it's basically the same thing, except that the structure is a little bit different. Okay, letters for beginners. This is the author, the address, the email address, the date, the make title. So let's run this file to see the output. Okay, so this is the output for my book. One page output. Okay, so observe that the title page is not numbered because we have a title page. You could add spacing or whatever you want to this title. If you don't want them to space, you can add spacing if you like. You can. We'll discuss spacing as we could go on in this video. You could add spacing, vertical spacing, horizontal spacing as you wish. For large books and large projects, to typeset a book or a thesis with large number of pages, it is often very helpful to use more than one file to typeset individual chapters. This will enhance easy location and correction of errors. The command /input will be used to compile the files into one single book or thesis. Now let me just give an example of that quickly. Of course, in any book, you have, or thesis, PhD thesis or master's thesis, you have some preambles, some preliminary pages. So I've typed them here already. I'm going to uncomment them. Okay, so for any book, you have declaration, dedication, preface, acknowledgement, and then table of content. Then you have the main matter. Before we go to the main matter, these are the preambles. Now you could, instead of typesetting everything on one LaTeX file, you could use /input. For instance, say main matter, I say /input. Chapter 1.tex. So with that command, you should have created a file, a LaTeX file called /chapter.tex, and you call it using the /input command. I will show you an example here quickly. See this file. Now this is a thesis. Now here, these files were all input. You see /input, chapter 1 thesis, chapter 2 thesis. Now if you run this file, I don't have to take, for example, chapter 1 thesis. It has been created here already. I'll open it. This is chapter 1 thesis. Okay, this is the file name called chapter 1 thesis. You just include the same command, subchapter, section, and everything there. LaTeX will understand and go and call that file and begin to run that file. The advantage of doing that is that you don't have to take, for instance, this chapter 1 thesis. It's a very long file. It's very long. See all the tests that are input here. If there's an error, I need to locate that error, and the whole file are in one straight file. You have to go down, scroll to many lines before you get your output. But if before you get the error corrected. But if they are broken into smaller documents, all of them labeled, and use the input command, if you see an error, you can easily go to that particular document, scroll through a few lines, and get the error corrected. That's the advantage of using /input command. Okay, so I erase this. It's not part of what we are using now. Before we go to sectioning command, back to our latest file, so I need to uncomment this. Okay, let's just uncomment one of this. Okay, chapter. Now let's run this file and see what output we get. Okay, so again, we view it within our DVI. Okay, so this is our book. This is the title page. The next page is the declaration. Then you put there your declaration. The next page is your dedication. You put in there your dedication, followed by preface, if you have a preface, acknowledgement. Observe that they are all the pages of the number in Roman numeral, and the chapters are not numbered because they are in the front matter in the preambles of your, and this is a table of content. Latex creates a table of content by itself. Once you put in /chapter, /section, all that book structure, Latex creates a table of content by itself. So I've just uncommented only the /part. We're going to discuss more about /part later and /chapters later. But I just uncommented that to see, to show you how it works. This is the output. Again, this is our output. So this is part 1 of the document. This is chapter 1 in the table of content. If I scroll down more, I'll see part 1, introduction, a single page. This is chapter 1, course description, and then other text can then follow. Sectioning command. In Latex, commands for formatting documents into sections and subsections are fairly intuitive. You use /section for sections, /subsection for subsection, respectively. Latex provides 7 levels of depth for defining sections, as shown in the table. Now you have /part. /part is not used in letters, and it's just breaking, you just divide the entire document into 2 parts. Part 1, possibly the introduction, then part 2, the main text, as the case may be. Then also we have /chapter. /chapter is not used for, it's only used for books and report, not for articles. And then sections can be used in articles and not in letters. Okay, it can be used in books and also in articles, but not in letters. Subsection are not used in letters. Subsections are not used in letters. They can be used in books. They can be used in articles. Paragraphs are not used in letter. Likewise, subparagraphs are not used. You can consult the manual for details about sectioning commands. Okay, so we'll just demonstrate the sectioning command. Let's go to our article example. We are here in abstract, so I'm going to, for article, we don't use chapters for article, we use sections. So I'll comment what section, that's section 1 of our article, and the text therein are the following. So I just uncomment this, and then you have a subsection. Okay, so let's run this article to see the output. the VI. Okay, this is our output. Again, you see the abstract is there is the introduction, which is section 1, and this is the subsection, unit 1 of the introduction, which are disadvantages. So one beautiful thing about LaTeX is that it number your section automatically by itself, so you don't have to put a predefined numbering. And for article class, even though I did not include table of content, if I wanted the table of content, I can include a table of content anywhere I want. I just type / table of contents. So it's going to gather the sections into the table of content. Let's run this file to see the output. Okay, so we have the contents. We just have 2 contents. So as I begin to include sections, LaTeX gather them in the table of content the way we want them. So we don't have to set our content manually. As you put your article or book in section and chapters, LaTeX will begin to include automatically in your table of content. LaTeX creates a table of content by itself. Numbering of section is performed automatically by LaTeX. Parts are numbered in Roman numeral, part 1, part 2, while chapters and sections are given decimal numbering. You can change the depth to which section numbering occurs. By default, subsections are not numbered. Okay, if you only want parts, chapters, and sections to be numbered, not subsections and subsection, you use a set counter command. So if we include set counter command, then we can change what is to be numbered and what is not to be numbered. A related counter is TOC depth, that is table of content depth, which specifies what depth where depth to take to the table of content. That implies that which of the sections should be taken to the table of content. Is it only the chapter, the part, the chapters, the sections, the subsections, or the subsections? Or we don't want the subsections only, or the subsections. Whichever part, we can always command LaTeX to do that for us. And the command to use for sectioning for numbering is set counter sec num depth. We go here. If we go up to the table here, now to this table, these are the levels. Okay, so if I use the set counter sec num depth 0, it means I only wanted chapters to be numbered. If I put 1, I want part, chapters, and section to be numbered. If I put 2, then it means I want part, chapters, section, and subsection to be numbered. For instance, let's go and see that quickly. So we need to include as a global command the set number, the set counter sec num depth. So I include here / set counter in column bracket sec as section number depth, the level, and still in column bracket the level I want. By default, it should be 1. Remember that 1 implies that it should number part, chapters, and section. Subsection are not numbered. Okay, if I put 2, then it includes subsection. If we run this LaTeX file, set counter Okay, so we use that command, set counter sec num depth depth 1. So it tells LaTeX to number only section. Let's view our output again. We use the DVI to get our output. So see, introduction was numbered, sections were numbered. See, sections were not numbered either. See, we only use 1, so we say it's only chapters and sections that are numbered. You see, this is number 1 for chapter. For the section 1 was numbered, so the subsection was not numbered. Here, this is our article, and we had this as section 1. We had this as subsection. So by using the command sec, go back there, using the command set counter sec num depth 1, we only wanted up to section to be numbered, so subsections are not numbers. You can see in the output of our LaTeX file, subsection are no longer numbered. And if I want them numbered, I change this number to 2, level 2, according to that table, according to this table here. So if I want it numbered up to this point, I add 2 here. Okay, so with that 2, it's going to number subsection now. So if I run the file, and then I check the output, see it's numbered now, 1.2. I can do the same thing with the book format. I just copy the same command and then take it down to the book example. I put in the preamble. Okay, and I run this file. Remember, 2 implies that subsection should be numbered. If we view this file for the book, okay, so we have here acknowledgement, content, part numbered, chapters numbered, and then course description not numbered. So here this is not numbered, only part and chapters were numbered. If we set it to 1, okay, so you see only part were numbered. So if you want some part or other part to be numbered, you just change the number and it will work for you. Okay, so now we'll change it back to now 3, meaning up to subsection should be, let's go back to 2 and we run it. Here we have our work, we have part, and then we have chapter, course description. Well, there was no subsection already. Okay, so we can comment this line to reveal a section there and a subsection to demonstrate what we have just discussed. Remove comment. Okay, so you detect it, and then it gives you chapter 1 course description, section 1.1, section 1.1.1. So this is a section numbered, this is a subsection also numbered, because our set counter numbering is numbered to 2, and 2 is up to the level of subsection. So if I change it to 1, the subsection will no longer be numbered. Let me demonstrate that quickly. we have this. So you see the number is gone from the subsection. So you could change the numbering of sections the way you want using sec num. Okay, the same thing with TOC depth. You could change the what appears on the table of content, either sections or subsection, by including the same kind of command, but this time we'll use set counter in bracket TOC DEPTH. Set counter TOC DPTH, and then in bracket 2 will imply that sections should be included. 3 should be imply that subsections should also be included in the table of content. Do the same thing with our book article. Let's run this quickly. We'll run this. We'll view the table of content. Okay, this is our table of content. So you see, chapters, part, chapter, subsection, subsections are included in the output, even though they are not numbered, because we said the numbering should stop at 2. So if we put 2 here and then we'll run the file, okay, to check our output, we need to run it again. Okay, so now subsections are numbered and they are also included in the table of content. To get unnumbered sessions heading which does not go into table of contents, follow the command name with a star, with an asterisk before the opening curly bracket, like we did for the preambles, the preliminary pages in the book session. For instance, we don't want declaration to have a number, that's chapter, so we type chapter star. Similarly, chapter star dedication will not be numbered. And if we want to be included in the table of content, we add this line, add content line, TOC, chapter, declaration. This is what we want to appear. If you don't put this line, it will not appear. For example, if you comment this line, comment means that Latex should not read that file, it's just a comment. Now we have commented declaration. We run our file, run it 3 times. Now again, here declaration is gone from the table of content. It was starred. Starred means don't number it, don't include in the table of content. But if you don't want to number it, yet you want to include in the table of content, you need to add that line. If you just star it, it will not be numbered, it will not be included in the table of content. But if you don't want to number it, and yet you want to appear in the table of content, you put that line, add contents line, curly bracket TOC, curly bracket chapter, curly bracket education, declaration in this case. Okay, so it's back there as declaration. The same thing you can do for the same principle hold for the article class. If I don't want to number any section, for instance, I don't want this section to be numbered, I just put a star here. Okay, I put a star, we'll run it. To get that output. Okay, so it doesn't appear in the table of content and it's not numbered. Okay, so if you want it Back in the table of content, you remove the star, and then it will now be numbered. Okay, so it's back the introduction. That brings us to the end of module